All right, guys, for all of you that have a Honda Fit, specifically the second generation, which was 2010 to 13, this is a part that's starting to go bad on them. The shift solenoid, specifically the B shift solenoid. Now, it's tricky to find videos on this on how to do it because you'll get confused thinking it's one of these. These are the pressure control solenoids on the top, and there's an A, B, and C as well. What you need is down below. So what you have to do, go ahead and give you some tips on what you're looking for. You got to get the cover off. As you can see, I've loosened it and just pushed it out of the way. And then you got to get this little clip out of the way here. There's a cover right there. And that cover has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different cover bolts that hold it in place. And then once that cover comes off, you'll have access to this solenoid. And a little tip that'll be really useful if you get yourself something like this on Amazon, you can get this suction pump that has this hose. So you run this down the transmission pan, the transmission dipstick. It'll fit right into the hole and then it'll suck out the fluid. You can see there where the fluid level is. And what's really neat is on the other side, it has little markers to tell you how much fluid you've sucked out. So you can see 2 liters, 2.5, so it's about almost 3 liters worth of fluid. So this is really useful when determining roughly about how much you got to put back into the transmission. All right, so here we go. We got everything out of the way. This is going to honestly take quite a bit of prying. There's 3 spots, three little lips, one there, one at the top, and one in the middle that you can pry on. I tapped it gently with the hammer here, and then I had to go to the top and push on that ear from the top side. So I used a really long screwdriver, and I tapped this end here to kind of help it loosen up. And once it kind of gets nice and loose, here we go. It pops out, and there are those wretched solenoids that we're trying to replace. So you'll see that this has a gasket, as is expected of everything. Honestly, I didn't think about the gasket, so I'm going to use a little bit of RTV sealer, and hopefully that'll hold. We'll see about that, but you can see that it has an alignment pin down there. So, and then there's one at the top. So that's kind of what you're fighting when you're trying to get this out. And then when you get in there, you're going to notice that there's 4 solenoids. So which one is the bad one? So you can all get this Maxiscan for cheap. It's about 20 bucks on Amazon. There it is, MS309. What you can do is obviously don't turn the car on, but turn the key to ignition, and you can scan the codes. If you, in my particular case, I disconnected the very top solenoid. I go in and read, and look at that. That is solenoid D. So that is not the one I want to replace. So there you go. Before I replaced the solenoid, I disconnected this, plug it back in, disconnected this, and read the code, and it told me that was solenoid D. So this is most likely solenoid B. So let's go ahead and we're gonna disconnect that so that way it throws the error code. All right, so coming back to the scanner, I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to erase the codes. And then when you go to read your codes again for transmission, there it is, B. So it's telling me that solenoid B has an issue, which is the solenoid that I just disconnected. So now I know which solenoid is bad. Now, if you're on a budget, replace obviously the solenoid that you need. But if you're not on a budget, buy all 4 and replace them while you're in there. Mind you, they're a good solid 150 bucks to $200 a solenoid. So that's a lot of money. In my case, I'm gonna go the budget way and just replace that one solenoid. Hope this helps, guys.